Let's do this. Good afternoon. Do you know that the coffee is right outside? Let's try it in one more time. Good afternoon. Much better. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. I mean, look around you. This is a growing community. We are all the humans driving innovation. We are the humans that are empowered by AI and are going to maximize the opportunity of what the technology brings to the table right here, right now. The time is... Thank you. All right. So we're going to talk about something that I think is a little kind of pushy. We're going to think outside your box. Let's think about this breaking through with differentiated AI of what we call a commodity AI trap. And I think if we think about the why it means and the why it's so important to empower your teams right now, the proper way to maximize opportunity, I'm going to share some insights coming from the field. So field CDO, what the meaning of that is, that I actually engage in conversations with many of you in this room. I see a lot of familiar faces. And if not with you, with your peers across businesses, across business units, across industries. And there are a couple of things that we see going on right now in the market. And I'm going to share some insights based on this. Let's build this visualization where I'm going to ask you the favor to randomly identify yourself with where you think you are right now based on what I'm going to share. The x-axis is going to be representing all the AI spending that you have been doing on the last year or so. So what is that? AI technology, consultants, cloud costs, AI models, tokens for generative AI, upskilling your people, everything that is money out, all right? And then y-axis is going to be everything that you are getting out of it. And when we say out of it, let's think about efficiencies. Let's think about those automation jobs that you have right now deployed in production. Let's think about the new products that you have been able to create, data outcomes that become products. And in general, all the insights that you are actually using to generate the value that at the end is what we are targeting. We want to generate value with all of this. All right. So if half of this room identifies with the blue line randomly, and then the other half of the room identifies with the green line randomly, what if you are competing for the same market? What's going on with that gap that we see between the two lines? It's not big enough. Not big enough. If we are going to be competing and we both have access to the same technology and we are both investing in the same resources, upskilling, people, consultants, and so on, what's going to be your differentiator? What's going to make you better than your beloved competitor in this room? All right? So today we're going to see what is the opportunity that we have to change the function and to actually change the story. I'm going to invite you to have a flashback with me. Raise your hand. This is where you actually prove to me that you had the coffee, right? Raise your hand if you remember going to Blockbuster Video to rent a video. Blockbuster. Yeah, 30 years ago, whatever. Yeah, it's OK. We're all there. It's fine. Now, raise your hand if you remember the red envelopes from Netflix. Was that an exciting time? Getting to the mailbox, checking the red envelope. I have a new movie for the weekend. Remember that? OK. So let's pretend that we're going to talk about those companies. And I'm going to have Netflix representing the blue line and Blockbuster representing the green line. OK? That is an innovation opportunity. What happened there? Let's think about it. Netflix. Everybody there? What happened? What happened between the red envelope and what's going on today? What's going on today? Streaming. What was the opportunity that they used to maximize what they were generating? Internet happened, and then they pivoted, and then they changed the way they were delivering that product and completely embraced what technology was bringing to the table for them at that time. So they not only changed the way they were delivering those products, they also used the opportunity to collect all kinds of data and start thinking about the recommendations, that engine that they were using, how they were optimizing the content, how they were thinking about viewing retention, and all those use cases that are part of that data collection that they completely embraced at that time. What happened with Blockbuster? No longer there, right? Exactly. So this is an example of a company that saw the moment, pivoted, changed the way that they were doing things, and completely embraced the opportunity and killed it. That's what, I mean, look at where they are today, right? So it's a great example. All right. So today we're going to talk about how we're going to maximize that differentiated AI gap. And what that means is that we are all here empowered with the same technology. Everybody in this room knows that this is a phenomenal opportunity. We all know that we can use descriptive, predictive, Gen AI, LLMs. We are trying to maximize the opportunity, empower our people, augment our people. And yet, everybody here has exactly the same resources. Because here we are sitting in the same room, sharing the same insights. So if you are competing, if you are sitting with your competitor, what is going to make you better? How are you going to maximize the opportunity? And when I say maximize the opportunities, maximize that differentiated AI gap. What do you need to do differently to really maximize what you can do? And what differentiated AI looks like? And what it means for you to really kill it and knock it out the park, no? So if we think about what's going on today, again, as field CEO, I talk to many of you. I engage in a lot of conversations across different verticals, use cases, and this is very common. What's very common? Look at that. We're still blocked in what we call the last mile. What is the last mile? Imagine your own use case when you are trying to get insights from that data, and what's the process inside your company that is going to give you those insights. I still need to ask my technical team or my analyst or my data science team. They go, collect the data, get your insights, bring back that to you, and then business user is like, I need something different. What about this new column? And they go back to the analyst, and then go back to you. Do you see the problem there? We have a last mile friction that is very tangible in the field today. And the reality of the situation is that things are changing. When was the pivotal moment for the industry to change? I will say OpenAI release of ChatGPT. I think that was crucial for the industry. I think it's a pivotal moment. And what's causing that pivotal moment? Well, the workforce now has access to this technology outside the enterprise and are getting these insights in real time. They're chatting with a GPT in a very natural language way, very organic, getting extraordinary insights out of this data, and is starting to demand a similar access to the same real-time insights, but what? Targeting the enterprise data. And within the enterprise data, we have a collection of structure, unstructured, semi-structured, all of that data that is so valuable for all of these business units to make the best decision that they can make because they are fully informed and have everything they need to make the best decision, right? Now, if we think about what is required from behind the scenes to happen, and if we think about the last mile friction, we can think about this architecture. I am sure that a lot of people here is going to be, oh yeah, that's exactly how we do it. We have a business problem, or we have a business person with a problem that is going to ask the question to the analyst. The analyst is going to go ahead and use the curiosity, creativity, and all of those beautiful skills, put together a report or a dashboard or a descriptive, predictive, whatever outcome we're going to generate out of it. And then it's going to come back to report to the business analyst, hey, these are your results. And then the business analyst is like, oh, I'm missing one column. Can we go back? Can we change this? Can we add another visualization? And it goes to the last mile friction that is very linear, right? So what's the proposal? You don't need to change your team, same technology that we have right here, right now, but a slightly different architecture that will support this business analyst to question that data, but in a real-time situation, the same as what they are already doing outside the enterprise. So it's not like you are changing the way that they are doing things. No, actually the opposite. They are already doing that outside the enterprise. Every new hire that you are going to have as part of your team is already using this technology outside the enterprise. So why not bring it to the enterprise with the data that is part of the enterprise? And that is going to evolve in what we call the super agent, right? Raise your hand if you have heard the term AI agent. AI agent in the field. You see? It's happening. It's happening in the field. So let's think about an example. And we're going to think about a sales forecasting use case. What needs to happen for you to get very good insights into that sales forecasting example? You need to have different people, first of all, talking to each other, validating that data, validating that information. And you need to have stages of that use case. The first stage can be, hey, what is the health of my pipeline? Where is the information coming from? You have a system providing that information, for example, a Salesforce. Then you are going to correlate that information with another third-party source. And then perhaps you are going to also ask somebody, hey, is this true? Or do we need to clean this out? Now imagine the same scenario, but why not with a bot that has been properly trained, that has access to your Salesforce pipeline data, that is crossing validation with sources A, B, C, D, and that is going to become very conversational, very organic, very natural for you to just interrogate your structured, unstructured, whatever, enterprise data, but in a way that I am doing outside the enterprise anyway. So how can we interrogate this person or this agent to provide us with that answer? This is an example. Hey, by the way, I want to optimize the health of my pipeline. Can you help me? And you are chatting with this bot that most likely is going to have behind the scenes that maybe look a little more complicated like that. But let's think about the pieces that are making this possible. Natural language processing has evolved into what we call today generative AI. Generative AI is leveraging all of these large language models. We know that there are multiple parties that are actually providing the service to consume all of this. We have open source LLMs and private LLMs. And at the end, what you're going to do is orchestrate these pieces so you can actually provide a user interface that is simplifying the way that the business consumer is interrogating the data from the enterprise in a way that is going to target his or her answer based on that business question, right? So what is behind the scenes? Stage 1, hey, I would like to, yada, yada, yada. Stage 2, I'm going to break this into A, B, C. Stage 3, we can have an open source LLM here. We can have a paid LLM here. We can grow into this designed. Therefore, I can actually generate an answer and say, yes, sure, I can help you. Let me give you your insights. Let me have a conversation with you where we can actually get the insights in real time the same way that we are having outside the enterprise. But again, the blue line and the green line, the Netflix and the Blockbuster. What are you going to go do differently? What is going to be better for you that is going to accelerate that time to value and is going to maximize the differentiated gap? What are you going to do differently? What do you have as an opportunity to bring your own, this is what I call secret sauce. What is your secret sauce? How do you do it better than your competitor? What are you bringing to the table that is so unique, that is coming from your SMEs, from your domain expertise, that is really maximizing that gap and making you be the blue line and not the green line? So if you think about the behind the scenes from the architecture perspective of all the orchestrated pieces that we have behind the scenes supporting this bot that is providing those insights into this use case, you have multiple opportunities to add your secret sauce, right? So if you think about each of these gray boxes as one opportunity to tweak it and say, you know what? I am going to fine-tune this LLM because I am the domain expert and I know what is going to make this generated model better. Oh, you know what? I'm going to host this LLM because it has unique policies and techniques that have been augmented the model using, for example, retrieval augmented generation techniques to make it better at what you care, your domain-specific questions. Or, you know what? I'm going to use an open source LLM that I'm going to provide to my software engineer team that is going to accelerate the production of some scripts, and we're going to use all that free time into this other next step thing because we're actually more efficient. And now we have a lot of opportunity to tweak this in a way that we feel is bringing my secret sauce to the table. I want to be the blue line. I'm going to use the same technology that everybody else in this room is using, but I'm going to do it my way, with my domain-specific knowledge, with my SMEs, augmenting my SMEs, and giving the opportunity to really maximize what you can tweak there and add your secret sauce. So if we think about the use cases where we can do this at, everybody here should be part of one of these teams. This is a pharma company, as an example, generally speaking, but every enterprise out there has a sales and marketing team, finance team, operation team, yada, 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 human resources teams. Each of these white boxes is going to be the use case where you have the opportunity to work on those micro-automation jobs that are part of that agent that is going to bring your domain expertise and make it better. So if we go back to the sales performance agent, we see that we have many opportunities as AI agents, micro-automation jobs, to bring your domain expertise, your secret sauce, and maximize that differentiator gap. So what options do you have? You could go to the left and say, OK, we're going to start from zero, and I'm going to hire a bunch of software engineers, and we're going to train all of these LLMs from scratch. Good luck. Or you can get it out of the shelf. But if you get it out of the shelf, what are you going to be missing? Your secret sauce. Your opportunity to be the blue line and not the green line. Your opportunity to maximize that differentiated AI gap. So everybody here may be thinking about your own use case. And within your own use case, I'm going to select some of these randomly. Everybody's going to have a specific micro-automation job behind the scenes, a specific AI agents to deliver that use case. But in common, everybody here will have to govern that. We'll have to think about security. We'll have to think about the guardrails to really maximize that opportunity. So the pieces that you're going to be orchestrating are the same. Which LLMs are we going to use? Experiment with it. What is going to be our outcome? Experiment with it. How are we going to keep our guardrails so we can really empower our people to ask these questions in real time and be having a conversation with a bot regarding the use case and the business use case, but with the proper guardrails and with the proper governance and with the proper opportunity to kill it and to be the blue line. So my invitation to you is you're going to be hearing a lot moving on. Learn from each other. Learn from those insights that your peers are bringing to the table. Maximize the opportunity that you have to be the blue line and think how you're going to be blue and not green and how you're going to empower your team to bring to the table your domain-specific and your secret sauce. I hope you got at least one thing that you didn't know. We're going to continue with our sessions today. Keep learning from each other, and I will see you at the happy hour for sure.